Yo guys, and welcome to this video here covering match 6 of the North American Regional Playoffs, the grand final here between G2 and Spacestation. But all the money here, we're in game 1, just over 2 minutes left on the clock, and this ball hit towards the G2 net here, and Civical picking it up and hit towards the corner. The pass over to Arsenal, back to Civical into XB. A wonderful passing play from Spacestation. They get the first goal of this series here. Could be a key advantage to start off on the front foot in this series, and Spacestation are the ones to do it here. It's a great pass from Civical over to Arsenal in the corner. He gets a great double touch pass back out to Civical here, and Civical passing it infield to XB, who slams that ball into the bottom corner there, out of the reach of JNAPS. G2 just too slow there off the start. Nobody cutting off any of those passing lanes, just sitting on defense and letting them make the passes and expecting to make the saves there. Unlike G2, normally much higher pressure. Spacestation capitalise here, looking to take momentum from that series win against Ghost. They strike first in game 1. It's 1-0. Not long after then here in G2 now on offense as they look to get back into this game here and get an equalising goal as Chicago hits this ball into the corner. It comes off the wall. The infield pass over to JNAPS, who can't quite put this one in, but on the follow-up, Chicago will put this one home here. Spacestation, a bit like G2 on that goal that Spacestation scored, just backing off here. This isn't an incredibly hard pass from Chicago into the middle. It's just sort of teed up, and XB and Civical just staying in net, expecting Arsenal to get out to that ball and get a challenge, but JNAPS just comes in fast with the momentum, beats him to that ball. His shot is just wide, so close there, but it bounces straight back to Chicago, luckily for them, who taps that ball in there, getting the equaliser here for G2. Spacestation backing off their way too much. They could have just gone and dealt with that ball way earlier there. G2 capitalised, making it 1-0. Game 1 now going to overtime then here. This could be a key moment in the series. Whoever gets this next goal, Rizzo looks to take control of this ball on the side wall here. Passes it downfield over to JNAPS, who plays it into the corner. The missed play from XB gets demoed out the play, and Chicago comes in to put this one home here for G2. It's a great pass from Rizzo over to JNAPS, who just launches that ball downfield, and he has follow, which is so key, because if he just gives up possession, then Spacestation can just come back downfield and start up their offense again. But the fact he goes and pushes this ball and gets follow when XB makes that missed touch, he just demos him out of the play. Another demo there by Chicago means that he's got an empty net to come in and tap this ball home. Those demos so effective for G2 in opening up that play. We saw them getting aggressive against NRG. They're continuing it here. Spacestation just couldn't handle it, especially when two players are off the field. G2 get the winner. They take game 1 and 1-0 up in the series. As we move into game 2, then there's just 43 seconds left. Completely scoreless game 2. A bit like game 1, extremely close here. The ball is in the G2 back corner, but Chicago will pop it downfield where JNAPS gets up for it, looking for the flip reset. Will it go in? Yes, it will. What an incredible goal from the knapsack, always showing up in the big moments for this team here, and he's done it again with an incredible goal. It's just popped downfield by Chicago. Spacestation again though backing off, allowing G2 onto offense. G2's offense, when they can get it going, is the best in the world, I believe, and Spacestation are just allowing them to do it right now. They have to change this up and stop it happening. But when JNAPS is making plays like that, that's an incredible flip reset there, bumping the goalie so he can't make the save. There's nothing you can do. G2 just see that lead out until the end of this game, so they take game 2 and a 2-0 up in the series. Straight in at the start of game 3 then here, and Spacestation needing to turn this series around here and change up their play style to adapt to this G2 winners. Off the kickoff, this ball rolls over to XB in the back corner for Spacestation, goes over Chicago, it's bouncing down towards net. JNAPS actually ends up putting that ball in there, a costly mistake perhaps from G2 there as it rolls over to XB in that corner. It's a nice set up to himself. Chicago does really well in this position, getting up early to challenge exactly what you want to be doing, and it means XB can't get another solid hit on this ball. He ends up just getting a tire touch, which drops it down towards net there. It might have been going wide, in fact, but JNAPS, in flipping into this ball, actually got an incredible angled shot on it and put it into his own net. One he won't want to see again. Space Station need to take advantage of this lead and build off it here in Game 3. They've got an early advantage. It's 1-0 in Game 3. G2 now just have to shake that mistake off then here as they look to get back on offense, with Chicago carrying this ball towards net, pops it middle. JNAPS can't find a touch, but follow up from Rizzo goes high, but it's dropping down the miss, and Rizzo will put this one in here for G2. Another costly mistake here by Space Station. The miss from JNAPS and AXB looks to get it clear for Space Station, but he can't come out with a touch, and then Rizzo just launching this ball towards the back wall, and Sipko here gets up along the back wall and misses entirely on this ball here, leaving the net wide open for Rizzo to come and tap this ball home. G2, I'm sure they would have thought they'd get an equaliser here, but not in this sort of way. It's just been absolutely handed to them here, and Rizzo, never going to miss that ball, just reacts to it, comes in and taps it home, and G2 equalise. JNAPS now in control of this ball coming through the air as G2 look to take the lead now in this Game 3 here. Pops it off the ceiling, looking to get back to his touch, can't find it, but a miss, which just means it bounces towards net, and he beats out the defender to tap this one home. Another horrible goal for Space Station to give away. G2 getting lots of scrappy goals in this series, but they're just being handed to them by Space Station. The nerves maybe just kicking in. They've never really been in a grand finals in a situation like this, and G2 have that experience and they're just making use of it here. It's showing as JNAPS looked for the ground pitch here, couldn't come up with anything. Sipko flipping to the corner, Arsenal missing entirely, and JNAPS plays it brilliantly well here. This slow play just a bait in. XB here goes really wide and then cuts it on this ball at full speed to beat him to the ball and put it out of his reach into the far corner. A wonderful play from JNAPS to capitalise on that mistake, and G2 have the lead. It's 2-1. Just under half the game left to go now, and this ball here in control of it is JNAPS on the sidewall, pops it up to Rizzo, who then looks to get back to his touch, lands coming off the wall, flips, pops it up, puts it in there. What a goal by Rizzo, an incredible play here from him, pops that ball up off the wall, and then the mechanics as he flips in off the wall here, look at his car floating through the air, pops that over those two defenders and then gets back to it to tap it in. ASB gets a touch, but he can't save it. It's an incredible goal from Rizzo, wonderful mechanics, not what we usually see from him. But Space Station again just backing off, allowing G2 to come to them, and they're not making the saves. They still haven't changed their tactics throughout this series, and if they don't, they're going to lose very convincingly here. Rizzo, an incredible play from him, definitely a good shout for MVP by Turtle. That goal will seal Game 3 for G2, so they're now 3-0 up in the series. We move into Game 4 then now, and Space Station needing a magical reverse sweep to take this series win, but they start off here on the right foot, just 5 seconds in, putting a shot towards net. Is XB. JNAPS makes a save though, bouncing into the corner. Sipko ends up just popping it into the middle, and Arsenal and XB bump each other, so JNAPS' shot will just roll all the way in here. Another mistake by Space Station. Sipko just popping that ball up, looking for a teammate, and XP might have been able to go for that ball, or Arsenal, but they bumped each other and then they can't get back in time either. It's a horrible way to concede right at the start of a game that you have to win. G2 just capitalising on every single mistake right now, playing extremely well. Spacestation just can't handle it. That ball rolling all the way into the corner. G2 strike first in game 4. Spacestation trying to bounce back now in this game here as they look to get on the attack and push for this equalising goal. Be taken away by Chicago, and Rizzo demoing Arsenal on the backfield means it's an open net if J-Nap just passes it across as he does, and Rizzo taps it home. G2 double their advantage. Spacestation in a really promising position on offense in a 2-on-2 there. But the demo from Rizzo as he's rotating back on the backfield means that once this ball is cleared downfield, the net is wide open. James just has to come up with the pass here, and he does inch perfectly. Rizzo taps it home there. It's just wonderful play by G2. The demos and the quick intensity is just too much for Spacestation to handle. G2 double their advantage. 51 seconds left now, and Spacestation not only needing a huge turnaround in this game, but in this series, if they want to keep their dreams of winning alive. Here's this ball is cleared out to the side, but James gets there first. The touch out from XP will only go to Chicago. It's bouncing on the goal line, but in comes Rizzo. Will finish this one off here for G2 and surely seal this game and the series win here. Just piling on the pressure, putting shots on net. Spacestation jumping in absolute chaos, using all that boost here, and then eventually they end up bumping each other there as XP was looking to clear that ball. He gets bumped by Arsenal, and Rizzo just comes in, finishing this one off. That goal will actually seal the series win here for G2. They take the series win 4-0, so G2 are your NA regional champions here, everybody. Congratulations to them. They had a bit of a tough finish to league play, but they've really showed up here in the regional championship, and Spacestation were impeccable throughout league play, winning so many of their matches. So unlucky here in this game. G2 just playing incredibly well. Nothing they can do. They played really well against Ghost, but it wasn't enough here in the final. G2 just too much for them to handle. Experience probably winning out in this one, but congratulations to G2, your NA regional champions. Right guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. Now obviously this is the final video for a while on North American League play. I will be covering the playoffs in a week's time, and then that will be it for the season. But I hope you've enjoyed this extra insight, and I'll see you guys in a week's time.